Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and today we are going to talk about a album by a band that never really released an album, but as you can tell, I'm holding in my hand an album. This is a band called the Penny Arcade, spelled with a K, cleverly enough. A 60s band. Now, this album didn't officially come out until 2004, I think, is when this was finally released on CD. But while they were together in the 60s, some of their stuff started showing up. This is an album called Not the Freeze, by the way. Some of their stuff started to show up on like rare albums, and to really confuse things, it was credited to the singer-songwriters was under a pseudonym. So this band kind of toiled in a lot of obscurity. And the sad thing is they're not a bad Southern California folk rock band. Very similar to Buffalo Springfield, one of my favorite bands. And in a different sort of way, and to bring things around, kind of like maybe a little bit tougher version of the Monkees. And the reason I bring the Monkees up is the connection on this album. And when this band was together, their producer, and you can see down there, was none other than Michael Nesmith. That's right, Michael Nesmith of the Monkees, credited as the producer of the Penny Arcade. He worked with the band. Now, what had happened was these two guys, Craig Smith and Chris Ducey, got together, a couple of singer-songwriters, and started to record together as a duo, Chris and Craig. They put out a single on Capitol in 1966, and they had met Nez back around this time, and Nez was becoming successful with the Monkees, and so he went on to produce the band that they were putting together, the Penny Arcade. It also included Don Glutt playing the bass, as well as Bobby Donahoe on the drums, or Donahue, I'm not sure, Donahue. And he recorded quite a bit of stuff with the band around 1967. And they were going to get he was going to get these guys a recording contract and a record deal, but they couldn't get a deal together and broke up. The tale of a lot of bands like that. Now, Craig Smith did have some success as a songwriter with other people. The Monkees, in particular, recorded Salesman, Andy Williams, his song Holly, and Glenn Campbell, Country Girl. And so, because he made quite a bit of money on those royalties, he went around the world and he came back to the United States, and kind of folks around him said, "Oh, you got really kind of out there and was really strange," and started to go under the being compared to guys like Skip Spence, if you know Skip Spence from Moby Grape, and a little more out there, sort of acid folk music, if you will, and so. Recorded a few things in the 70s, but all this was finally put together as the Penny Arcade album, and it's called Not the Freeze. Now, this particular version, or this album, was a Record Store Day release, and it was a mono copy of this, which was quite interesting. But if you're a fan of that late 60s, sort of pop rock sound, a little edgy, a little muscly, this might be worth checking out. And if you're a Nez fan like me, definitely worth seeking out, because I'm just a sucker for anything Nez. Now, just to read the hype sticker here: sparkling melodies, shimmering guitars, incandescent harmonies. The Penny Arcade was really the quintessential LA sound, enthuses Mike Nesmith, producer of this, their stunning, unreleased 1967 album. It's a good album. I don't know if it's quintessential LA, but it's a good album, and it's certainly worth seeking out. So if you see copies of it out there, look for it. The Penny Arcade, Not the Freeze. If you know this album, comment down below, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. I love interacting with you guys. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.